Every Sunday in thousands of black churches across America, money changes hands. A folded bill slides into an envelope, a card taps a screen, a basket passes down a row of hands and comes back full. That money is real, and the people giving it often do not have much to spare. Once the money leaves your hand, where does it actually go? Does any of it come back to the neighborhood that gave it? Hey, it's CJ, the creator of this channel. If you want to make YouTube videos like this, then topic2video.com will handle everything for you. Just input your topic, choose a video length, and a full-length video about your topic will come out the other side. I know it sounds simple, but it's true. Try it for free today at topic2video.com. This is not a story about faith. It is a story about money, the same kind of story we tell about banks, wages, and property, except the ledger belongs to a church. To follow the money honestly, we need clear definitions. When someone gives a tithe, that usually means a set portion of their income given regularly. An offering is extra given on top. A restricted donation can only be spent on the thing it was given for. A grant comes from outside, often with strings attached. Property income is money the church earns from land or buildings it owns. If we mix these types of money together, we may accuse a church of theft or praise it for generosity without knowing which is true. We can follow the dollar through 4 doors: people, buildings, programs, and whatever remains. The first door is payroll. Churches are run by people, and those people have to eat. The pastor is usually the largest single salary, which is where most arguments start. But a salary by itself proves nothing. A church with 2,000 members and a full week of services is running a small business. Someone has to handle counseling, funerals, weddings, sermons, and late-night phone calls. The rest of the staff may include musicians, administrators, cleaners, security workers, and childcare workers. The church may also pay for health insurance, retirement, and sometimes a housing allowance for clergy, which is a real thing in American tax law. Check this out. In many churches, the pastor's housing is treated differently from a normal paycheck for tax purposes. The paycheck listed in the budget is not always the full amount the church spends on a worker. To judge the pay fairly, ask what the job requires and whether the members who set the budget agreed to it. The second door is the building, and this is where the numbers get heavy fast. A church is a large piece of real estate. It must be heated in winter and cooled in summer. A big sanctuary can use as much energy as several homes at once. Insurance costs rise every year, and repairs can include roofs, plumbing, and parking lots. Many churches also carry a mortgage. They borrowed money to buy or build the property, so part of every offering goes to the bank as interest. A building costs money to maintain, but it can also serve the neighborhood. The same building can hold a food pantry on Tuesday, an after-school program on Wednesday, and a funeral on Saturday. The land underneath it may have been bought decades ago when the neighborhood was cheap. The church may now own an asset worth far more than it paid. That's crazy. Whether that asset helps the neighborhood or simply sits there depends on what happens inside those walls during the other 6 days of the week. The third door is the one everybody points to: giving back. Churches may distribute food, help with rent, offer tutoring and health screenings, or provide job training. They may list these activities on flyers and mention them from the pulpit. But a program can sound larger than it is. Volunteers may carry most of the cost by working for free. A one-time coat drive in December may look as generous as a pantry that feeds people every week, but the two programs do very different work. Compare the records with the church's claims and check how often the doors are open. Talk with nearby residents and the partners who run programs alongside the church. Their answers show whether money reaches the neighborhood. Put it all together for a single church, and you get a map. Money comes in through tithes and offerings. It pays people, supports the building and the bank, funds programs, and sometimes sits in reserve for emergencies or the next major repair. For most churches, outsiders cannot see the whole map because churches are not required to publish a detailed budget for the world to read. An outsider trying to follow the dollar often hits a wall. Without those records, nobody can verify where the money went. So the honest answer must admit what remains unknown. Churches that open their books and show members the numbers line by line let people check the claims. Elsewhere, people must trust what they cannot check. None of this is new. The black church was born in a place where money and survival were the same thing. The sociologist Franklin Frazier used the phrase invisible church to describe the hidden way enslaved people worshiped on slave plantations. This worship existed mostly out of sight of white America. Those congregations later took on many jobs because for a long time, no one else would. In the 1800s, a free black pastor named London Farrell led a congregation in Lexington, Kentucky. The city was expanding quickly at the time. These churches were banks, schools, and shelters when black Americans were shut out of the real ones. When a church today owns property and runs programs, it is continuing a very old job. Pastors also shaped public life far beyond the sanctuary in earlier generations. In 2008, Jeremiah Wright's words helped push a presidential candidate to distance himself from his own pastor. That episode showed that a pastor's words could still affect a presidential campaign. So, does the money come back? For the churches you can actually examine, the answer is mixed. Some of every dollar keeps the institution alive by paying people and the power bill. Some builds long-term strength, such as owning a building outright so future generations inherit an asset instead of a rent bill. Some reaches a person standing in line for food or rent this week. Do not judge a church only by how much it takes in. Ask whether its spending connects the money it gathers to the people and the place that gave it. Then look behind the four doors: people, buildings, programs, and what remains. Hey, it's CJ, the creator of this channel. If you want to make YouTube videos like this, then topic2video.com will handle everything for you. Just input your topic. Choose a video length, and a full-length video about your topic will come out the other side. I know it sounds simple, but it's true. Try it for free today at topic2video.com.